Pull that sucker up.
Yeah, so a decent amount of movement.
Yeah.
North Carolina, the moment they went into the honorable mentions, it's like Louisville the other week. The moment we put you in there, you shit the bed and then you fall straight out. I was debating between Ole Miss and I was low-key wanting to put Missouri in there,
I'll just give him a nod.
but they just don't have
Don't have a signature win.
yeah, and they lost to LSU.
Yeah.
So at least Ole Miss has beaten LSU and their only losses at Bama. So I was like, all right. Now I don't really think Ole Miss is that good.
No.
Like I think Bama and Utah are clearly better, but this is just kind of how it's shaped up so far. Um, I I thought about maybe putting the Bama ahead of Oregon State, but then I was like, for what? Like they kind of played okay for a half against like Tennessee. Like
Mm-hmm.
if they would have just like annihilated them, okay, but I'm not gonna punish Oregon State that much.
No, I like the setup here. For as far as Utah, I mean, we talked about it as if Utah could find an offense, which it looked like they kind of did last week,
Yeah, that
that
doesn't
team
even
would be
count.
pretty good. No, 100%.
Everyone can find an offense.
Yeah, yeah, we're
Yeah, team would be good,
USC
man. Honestly, with
US
Rising, they'd be really good. Like,
see
and that it came out, he's
USC's.
not gonna play for the rest of the year, so
I think USC's defense is like my fantasy team. Like everybody knows when they play me. Like, hey, we
free
got
win. Bye
we
week.
get some confidence. So
Bye week.
hey,
Yeah, and
I
then
saw Rising isn't playing anymore. I mean, I think he's probably never gonna play football again. It doesn't look
yeah,
like.
maybe next year. I have no idea. His knee
Does
is
he get
just.
another year?
He could probably get a medical red shirt
Medical
unless
red
he had
shirt?
already taken one. That's the thing. I don't really know how that works.
That'd be interesting. Okay, that's a good little thing
From
to look at.
from 7 to so obviously the gap is between Oklahoma and Oregon, the
Yeah.
undefeated 6 teams, and then the others. Um, I kind of had not too much trouble. Like I didn't know how far to drop Penn State.
Because you
It
did lose to the number one team right now.
yeah, but they also their offense looks so bad
Yeah,
that
they
I
got put in a
couldn't
straight
I
jacket.
couldn't like for like find a way to say like, oh, they're the best one-loss team. Like I couldn't really say that. I think their defense is really, really good, but at the end of the day, offense wins in college football right now.
Yep.
We saw it in the championships. We saw it in the semifinals. Like if you can't score, it doesn't matter. Like Michigan had this amazing defense, whatever, doesn't matter.
Couldn't put
TCU
points
drops
up.
40. Like Georgia, great defense, doesn't matter. Ohio State dropped 40. They still lost, but still, like you got to score. So that's why I ended up pushing Oregon above Texas just because like Texas kind of escaped against UCF.
Yeah, that's a good way to
And
put it.
Oregon kind of just, I mean, they ended up handling business. They played a better team in Washington State and
Yep.
handled business more, so they get the nod there. I still think Texas is better than Penn State just because they still that win over Bama is still good.
Yeah.
So just it's really close though between 7 and 10. I think Oregon at 7 is cool, but like 8, 9, 10, cool. Maybe Oregon State's just not quite there to like really get
Yeah.
jumping up the rankings. But I'm pretty sure this week is, um, I think it's a big,
They play Arizona.
yeah, Pac-12 after dark. That is going to be just a crazy game. If
I
I
tell
know
you what,
anything
man.
about Pac-12 after dark, that's going to be a wild one down there in the desert.
I'm taking the Wildcats in a Pac-12 after dark.
Yeah,
I like that Wildcats team.
I would not be mad at you for that. We get to Oklahoma. Florida State jumps them
Yeah.
simply because Oklahoma also really struggled against Houston. Or
Yeah.
yeah, they were Houston. No, they were UCF. Texas played Houston. I got them switched up.
Yeah, you're right. My bad. I didn't even
Texas.
correct you on it. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It was kind of like
They were just
it
such odd
was almost
games.
like
It
the
was
same
like,
games like that
yeah,
I was watching.
just switch the uniforms and they were the same.
Yeah. So apologies on that. But yeah, kind of just two duds that they were playing. So Florida State was a close game for a while, but eventually they did take care of business against Duke, which is a better win. So they get the nod. I still think they're frauds.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
they
of course.
might, because their schedule's so easy, they might never get exposed,
Until they hit the playoffs and
which
then.
is unfortunate.
Yeah.
So obviously with the Penn State loss, Georgia moves up one. They didn't. They didn't even play, right? Yeah, they had a
I
bye,
think they had a
but
bye.
Bowers is like I don't think I can move them any higher than 4 with no like they're kind of just stuck in this limbo until if Bowers plays or doesn't. They're gonna get into like they're going to Florida, which
Yeah,
Florida's kind of hot right now. They
should be
they've won
best.
they've won 2 straight, putting up points at least, which is like good for them. So it could be a tough one for Georgia, but this is the stretch. Like I don't know, is Bowers out for the next 4 weeks?
I think it was 4 to 5 because he has to have surgery
Because
from
if
what I
so, he like
read.
home against Florida, home against Missouri, home against Ole Miss, at Tennessee. Like those are going to be 4 games where would not be shocked if Georgia drops 1 or 2.
No, I wouldn't either.
I would not be shocked if Missouri rolls into town. It's just crazy that they can have just 3 home games right here somehow, back to back to back, in their 3 biggest games of the year. We've been saying
Yeah,
this all season, like how the schedule making is a joke. How can you have 8 home games and 4 away games? It's an absolute joke.
actually,
Um,
for Brock Bowers, there's no timeline on his return.
ooh. It could be one of those things where if they're gonna make the playoff or if they make the SEC championship, oh, like, all right,
Yeah,
I'm back. And if they don't, then it's like, okay, I'm just gonna get ready for the draft.
could be.
Could be one of those things. Um,
Be interesting to look.
Michigan and Washington both drop just because we valued, Ohio State, big win, beat a undefeated team. We thought Penn State was good, thought their defense was good. I still think Penn State's good. Washington struggled.
Yeah,
Michigan handled business, but like all the
you're
people that say,
cheaters. So
"Well, Michigan, why wouldn't Michigan be ahead of Washington because they didn't struggle?" Go back and look at what Washington did to Michigan State. Same thing. Michigan won 49-0, Washington won 41-7 against the same team.
yeah,
So,
they dismantled them.
who cares? Like they're the same. Michigan literally has not played a football game so far this year. Like a like they haven't even played like this schedule is so bad. I can't even describe it.
I think bad does it.
Yeah, I think shit.
Well,
I'm gonna say
okay.
shit.
Ours too.
And then
And Purdue.
yeah, Ohio State up to 1. I'm just gonna look at next week to see like what could really
Shake up a little bit.
change this. Like Oregon, Utah is gonna be a big game. So obviously Utah's got a chance here to jump into the top 10 with a win over Oregon. Oregon's got a chance to really cement themselves. Like if Oklahoma struggles with Kansas and Oregon puts a big win at Utah, like there's a world where we could see Oregon start jumping some of these undefeated teams with their only loss being Washington.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, Duke, Louisville won't be too much happening. Washington goes to Stanford, so that just it might be
It's close every year.
yeah, or because Washington just played a close one, they might drop 60 on Stanford just because they're pissed.
Yeah, could happen.
I'd lean that way. I'm telling you, this Ohio State at
Yeah,
Wisconsin game, I
yeah.
think it's gonna be Wisconsin will give them a game. I really think so.
If Wisconsin can run the rock and not turn the ball over, I think it'll be close.
Yeah. Which can they? I don't know. Ohio State will probably get some like cheap way to magically win, and
Probably.
then they won't play another team that. Well, I guess they'll play at Rutgers. That's not a horrible game, but then we'll just wait for them to play Michigan and and
That's
see what happens. I'm hoping. I'm hoping somehow none. Like I don't want 2 of these Big 10 teams to get in.
it just
Like I'm
looks like it
hoping one of
will.
them just ends up being undefeated.
Hmm.
Like I'm hoping Penn State just lose to Michigan, boom, they're done. And then I hope Ohio State just loses, and then like I hope they just don't. But they're gonna be the one. They're gonna say, "Oh, our only loss was to Michigan," right? They're gonna pull that like card and then be the 4 seed, and they're gonna get in over like a one loss somebody else. It's gonna be scummy. I already know how this thing's gonna shape up.
I just really hope somehow Iowa makes it to the Big Ten championship. And like, what if let's live in a world now. This is a very long shot. Somehow Iowa wins, makes it because they can. Their division is terrible,
Yep.
and they somehow pull off the upset against like Ohio State. Like the Big Ten champion
It
is
would be
Iowa
beautiful.
Hawkeyes. Like,
I wish
I
they
don't.
won. They probably should have won
They definitely should have
against
won.
Minnesota. That like fair catch call was kind of like, okay, I don't know
Yeah,
about that, but
yeah.
yeah, there's our top 10. Let us know. Kind of like this weekend's games are kind of like, besides the Oregon Utah game, not a lot of like high profile like top seed games until you get to the next week 10 is USC Washington, if USC is still like alive at that point. You get an LSU Bama, which is going to be fun. Um, so we'll start to see some closer. I think week 11 is the big. This is a fun week. Week Saturday the 11th,
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss at Georgia, Utah at Washington,
Okay.
USC at Oregon,
Well,
Tennessee at Missouri should still be fun. Duke at North Carolina, that'll be a fun one. Michigan at Penn State, like that'll be a banger. That'll be a banger weekend.
it sounds like a another quad Jack and Coke night.
Oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. All right.